Here's the number that should stop you cold. On $30,000 of credit card debt, a debt settlement company can charge you somewhere in the range of $6,000 to $7,000 in fees. That is an illustration, not a quote, and your real number can be higher or lower. But sit with what that means for a second. You're already stretched thin, and the plan on the table is to hand a stranger the price of a decent used car to do something you may be able to largely do on your own. Stay with me because I'm going to show you exactly what that fee pays for, where it earns its keep, and where it buys you almost nothing. My name is Carlos and I settled my debt when I was young, straight out of college. Didn't even know what debt settlement was at the time. Fast forward, I spent about 10 years in the debt settlement industry helping people get out of debt. So I've seen it from both sides. Now that we got that out of the way, let me clear up the biggest misunderstanding first because it changes how you read every offer you get. Most settlement companies do not charge you a flat fee. They charge you a percentage. It's typically a percentage of the total debt you enroll. Sometimes it's a percentage of the amount they claim to save you, but it's usually the former. Those two things are very different, and the wording is where you win or lose. In this industry, the fee often lands somewhere in the 15 to 25% range. I want to be clear, that is a general range, not a promise, and what you personally get quoted can sit outside it. So run the math on your own situation before you sign anything. If you enroll $30,000 and the fee is 20% of the enrolled debt, that is roughly $6,000, and in a lot of contracts, it can be owed whether they settle brilliantly or barely at all. Read the contract slowly and find the exact word the percentage attaches to. So what does the money actually buy you? Honestly, a few real things. You're paying for someone to handle the phone calls so you do not have to. You're paying for a structured account where money gets set aside over time. You're paying for people to talk to creditors every day and do not flinch at a no. And you're paying for the simple relief of handing the stress to somebody else. That last one is not nothing. When you're lying awake at 2 in the morning, the idea of never picking up the phone call again has real value to you. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't. But here's the other side, and this is the part they do not lead with. The core of what they do, you can often do yourself. Setting money aside in an account you control is something you can do on your own. Calling a creditor and making an offer is a conversation, not a secret skill. The negotiation itself follows a pattern you can learn. What you're frequently paying that 15 to 25% for is the phone calls and the paperwork, not some magic access to better deals. Creditors generally do not hand a company a lower number than they would hand you. There is no secret VIP line. The leverage that settles debt comes from your timing and your cash, and both of those already belong to you, not to the company. I want to be fair here because it's not always a bad deal for you. If you genuinely cannot make the calls, if picking up the phone call sends you into a panic you cannot push through, if your life is so full right now that you know you'll let deadlines slip, then paying for someone to carry that load can be worth it for you. Convenience is a real product. The mistake is not hiring help. The mistake is paying a used car size fee without ever asking whether you could keep that money and do the core of it yourself. You deserve to make that choice with the real numbers in front of you, not with a warm sales voice rushing you past them. Let me put the real numbers on it so you can see the shape of the decision. These are illustrations only and results vary a lot from one person to the next. Say you owe $30,000. Imagine a settled outcome somewhere around 15 cents on the dollar, so 15,000 going to the creditors. Again, this is an example figure, not a result you should expect. Now, layer the fee on top at 20% of the enrolled debt. That's another $6,000 to the company, so your all-in cost in this illustration is around $21,000. Now, run the same $15,000 settlement without the company. Your all-in is around $15,000 plus your own time and some stress. The gap in that example is roughly $6,000. That is the number you're weighing against the convenience. For some people, the convenience wins. For a lot of people who are already short on cash, $6,000 is exactly the money that would have gone towards the settlement themselves. Picture yourself. This might be exactly where you are. You're 3 cards deep, around $28,000 in total. You're current, barely, but you can feel the math tightening every month. The settlement company calls, warm and reassuring, and says they can probably help. Relief floods in. You almost sign right there, but you pause and you ask one question. You ask them to tell you in plain words what what their fee attaches to and when they charge it. If they get vague, that vagueness is your answer. If it's a clean percentage of your enrolled debt charged regardless of how well they do, you know now the real trade. You're not saying no to help, you're just refusing to pay a used car for a phone call you can make yourself. Now, the honest pushback. You might be thinking, but I'm not a negotiator and I'll freeze up and I do not know what to say. And these companies do this all day. That's fair, and I'm not gonna wave it away. Here's the reframe though. The person calling you from the creditor side is usually not a master negotiator either. They're typically a call center worker reading from a script. You do not have to out-tough them. You have to be calm, patient, and willing to repeat a version of the same few sentences more than once. That is a learnable thing, not a personality you can either have or don't. The fear is real. The skill gap is smaller than it feels at 2 in the morning. So here is how you use this. Starting today, before you sign anything, first, if you already have an offer from a settlement company, pull out the contract and find one thing, the exact sentence that defines the fee. It is a percentage of the enrolled debt or of the savings, and when they do collect it. Second, do the simple math. Take your total debt, apply their fee percentage, and write that dollar figure down as its own number. Not buried, not a footnote, its own line. Third, ask yourself the real question. Is that dollar figure worth the convenience to you, or is it the exact cash you need to fund your own settlements? There is no universally right answer. There is only the answer that is honest for your situation, and if you decide you want to try it yourself first, you can always do that and still keep the company as a backup. One thing worth saying plainly, because it matters for trust, if you ever use a tool or a platform to help you do this yourself, including ours at VantagePath, your money should stay in an account that you control. We never touch your money. The whole point of doing it yourself is that the cash you are building stays yours, in your name, under your control, until you decide to send a settlement. Any setup where a company holds your funds for you is a setup you should question hard. So let me bring it home. That 15 to 25% fee, which can be $6,000 to $7,000 on $30,000 of debt, as an illustration, buys you convenience and phone calls, not secret access. The leverage that actually settles debt, your timing, and your cash already belongs to you. Before you sign, find the fee sentence, write the dollar figure out on its own line, and ask if that convenience is worth handing over that very money that could settle your accounts. If this opened your eyes, the next one to watch is my video called What Debt Settlement Companies Don't Want You to Know, where I go deeper into the parts of this business they would rather you not see. Watch that one next, and if you want a way to do this yourself with the money staying in your own control, check the link below. Quick note, I'm not a lawyer or a financial advisor, and this is education, not legal or financial advice for your specific situation.